Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is SKYMAN Universe and your Star Wars quote for today. This is where the fun begins. And today we're going to be reacting to part 4 of Ahsoka. And I can't believe at this point, I think it's 8 episodes. Hopefully it's more, hopefully I'm wrong. But we're halfway through. Which, yeah, I don't know how we've sort of reached that point already. It must be more than that, surely it's got to be more. I think it's end of October that it finishes, but regardless, I love this moment where we've got new episodes on the horizon, new Star Wars on the horizon. It's Ahsoka, it's Dave Filoni, and so what's been set up so far, it's the scope, all I could say is potential. Especially like with the other universe and traveling to that, getting Thrawn back and Ezra. It's all quite compelling to me. I have the sort of Jedi outcast vibes from it in terms of like the Empire, sort of the remnants, and that's kind of exactly what I wanted. If they went full blown Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple on Yavin 4, then that is just perfection for me. How that would be integrated in this, I don't know. But because it's about Ahsoka, there must be some sort of Anakin Skywalker thing cropping off, or something to do with the Jedi. I mean, fingers crossed, they might not do it. There might not be any sort of fan service whatsoever, but I'm secretly hoping so much that any moment now we're going to be surprised with an Anakin Skywalker flashback or something like that. The episode where it's Master and Apprentice, that's what I thought they're referring to, Ahsoka and Anakin. But it was actually Ahsoka and Sabine. So yeah, I think, is that going to happen? I don't know how that sort of fits in, because they've just landed on that planet. The big hyperspace ring's good to go, or sort of nearly there, ready to go. Balin's down on the planet, and he's got his droids ready to go after Ahsoka. The ones, I assume they're the ones with the big bomb which blow up, so that could be interesting. And Sabine's there as well. And has Sabine used her guns yet? I don't know if she has, but I prefer if she used those than her lightsaber. So she's got to have a head on with Balin, and hopefully we know more about him, and we know more about what's going on like with the other galaxy, and maybe a little bit more with the grand scheme scope of things. And I'll say as well that I absolutely loved that space fight with Ahsoka and the Mandalorian, but the moment which was perfection for me was when she jumps out with her spacesuit on, and then she's standing on top of the ship with her lightsabers. That's like 100% Star Wars for me. It's exciting, it's action-packed, like, it wasn't over the top, it just worked. It was just enough to be done really well, and I really applaud them for all of that sequence. It all made for a really tense and exciting battle, which I really loved. And we've never seen something like that in live action before. I mean, you could argue we've seen someone floating through space before, but yes. But yeah, we're trying to keep this a bit more condensed introduction. So, episode predictions. Are they going to travel to get back Thrawn? My fingers are crossed so much, because we're sort of ploughing through the episodes at the moment, and I'm feeling more and more like he's being held back, and I don't want that. We've had a lot of the mentioning, but I want to see some action in regards to that. And that ring, yeah, it's getting prepared, etc, etc, but let it jump off at least, or something like that, so we know it's gone, so there's potential that it could come back next episode. The thing is, would we be going with the space ring, or would they keep it sort of remain a mystery? And then I mean, to me that would work perfectly fine if the ring went, the hyperspace ring went, destroy it! Brought back Thrawn. We still don't know anything about the other galaxy, but Thrawn does. That's what would make him more intimidating, because he has all this knowledge that we don't know about, which the Rebels or the New Republic doesn't know about. And that could be a really sort of juicy thing they could play around with there, which I'd be very happy with. In regards to how much of the Empire actually has been built there. Has he done anything to do with the Empire? Has he made something new for himself? I mean, that would be really cool and interesting. And I love the reference as well of the hyperspace links between the galaxies in the old Jedi archives. That legitimizes all of it for me, and I don't second question it, because it's direct from the archives. So it's all fine, it's all good. Will we get anything, flashbacks or anything to do with previous movies or something like that? I don't know, I feel like at this point, perhaps we should, but at the same time I can understand why they wouldn't, because it's standing on its own 2 feet at the moment, I'd say, and with what it's doing. So maybe they don't want to hint at that, but you cannot miss up on the opportunity of Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker with Ahsoka. I mean, we all want to hear him say snips. I mean, that's probably one of the big things. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting episode. I always love this moment just before. That's where the excitement is for me, and it's either sort of the thing where you know it's going to be epic, or you get a Luke Skywalker moment. I'll never ever forget about that, nor stop talking about it, because that was just magical and always will be in The Mandalorian. Or it could be really terrible, and you could be sitting there going, what just happened? But anyway, let's watch.
Hey, hold it steady! Learn to anticipate. Now's not the time for a lesson!
Oh my gosh, how did I forget to mention the Purgle? So stupid, man. That was freaking epic. I love that so much, and that was like a magical moment there as well, which I thought was really special. Why am I getting like this really sort of apprehensive feeling? Don't know why.
Sounds good. The enemy has the map and the means to get where they want to go.
We'll steal the ring then, and off you go.
It won't come to that.
That's the solution, for them to go in the ring.
Already. He'd be stranded out there. Knowing Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
But he might have been defeated by Ezra, and Ezra could be sitting there by himself. Everyone's assuming that Thrawn's alive. He might have not made it. So
let's find that ground bait.
It's a trap. It is a trap. Nothing bad. Best not happen. It's David Tennant's droid. And by the way, other Inquisitors, just take your helmet off. Are they officially Inquisitors? Hello. I mean, is this Sabine again? Don't get my hopes up.
When the stakes are this high, I have to.
Yeah, I'm going more by my philosophy that Ezra's still alive and Thrawn might not be, so that's the biggest cause as to why you'd go there. Yes, they wouldn't get rid of it. He's too good of a droid, and they haven't had a touching moment to do that. So yes, the droid boxing. That's so good. General Grievous droid boxing.
Help! He wouldn't.
Finally. The white lightsabers are amazing.
May I make one request of you both? Stay together.
Cheer up.
You always did better that way, in my opinion.
We better get moving. Together.
Oh, very good. You'll thank me.
Has Sabine got a jetpack on? I think she has. Now that's a sight I'd like to see. Oh my goodness, there's the hangar.
General.
The real hangar. And the ghost! Oh my gosh.
General.
And Jason. And Chopper.
Sit around and do nothing. You'll think of something.
Those sounds and noises just honestly take me back to like my 10-year-old self.
Mom, how come I have to do what I'm told and you don't? Well, when you're a general, you can disobey orders too.
Got shivers everywhere. Epic. Music, that's so cool. Honestly. Perfection, well done.
Thanks for
See the ghosts like that, that's so special.
Miss it, General. You know, you're risking an awful lot by doing this.
Welcome back.
You know how it is. Once a rebel. We're all in on 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Oh, that gives me pure joy. I'm currently on season 2 of Rebels at the moment. The first season is just beautiful. Like, I didn't realise how good it was. It's even better watching it.
Once the
Like,
guidelines
5th time,
established,
6th.
we will be able to calculate the hyperspace.
I want to know more about you, Balin. How good if Mother Talzin had some sort of involvement. That would be better. Wow, so this thing could be getting ready to go. If the ghosts hadn't taken off, that is. What I can think about is it the Oculus filming thing? Where they have to do those shots and run from one side to the other, and then whoop, and then the other side to the other side. Jetpack time. Yeah, don't think about helping her, Ahsoka. Just use the one. You are nice. I do think the lightsabers look a bit better. There's not a chance that's even Starkiller. Starkiller being way more powerful than that person. Go again. That is a good stance. Something how that girl moves, I really love. I don't know if it's because her hair makes it seem a bit different, but she just seems, I don't know, sort of efficient and quick. Sort of Errol Flynn type thing. Now take off, fly away. Aww. So it was just a cool person in the heaven. My sister. The droid did say stay together, so.
Gotcha. Protect the map until I send for you.
The thing is, no, it should be the other way around, really. It should be Balin saying, protect the map.
How inevitable.
Just to make sure we all know he's a dark side user with that very Sith-like lightsaber ignition. Well. I like his sort of heavy attacks and movements. They look good. Is that when you can actually make the jump? Cool, they must be massive for a long time. Must be exhausted by now. David Tennant's joy is gonna show.
You have no power.
Is it bad that I'm rooting for the wrong person? Why? Why do that? To destroy the...
You know no other way.
It's alright. Just do it. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I give you my word. No harm will come to you. Sabine,
So if a Sith said that,
you will be reunited with your friend.
you know that would be a load of bollocks, but because he says it, it sounds somewhat
It's the only
believable.
way. Do it. For Ezra.
They know what they're doing there. Give it to him. Now we'll see if he's true to his word.
My word. And unlike her former master, I shall keep mine.
I like him a lot.
Complete. The hyperspace route has been established.
Go.
Send the shuttle to retrieve the good Lord Balin.
Go. Just go.
What can you tell me?
It's funny how Mandalorian has made beard guy pilot sort of nostalgic in a little way. That's pretty awesome.
Flights 3, 5, 7, and 10.
Well, I congratulate you
Power 9.
for achieving this great song. The ring has to go.
Destroy it!
Like, there's no other way for Thrawn to get back. So whatever they do, it has to go. And just the potential that might happen here. Seriously, I hope this is well thought out.
Carson, are you reading this?
That's a tremendous surge in power.
It's the hyperdrive. They're gonna jump.
No way. They've gone. Gosh, that's not good. Not good. That's mad. And so cool at the same time. I never thought we could have potentially Force Ghost Anakin. My goodness. What better opportunity than now to have that. No way. Oh my goodness. You're back. Something has got to happen.
Master?
I didn't expect to see you so soon.
Anakin.
Oh, wow. Well done, Peter Ramsey. That was sort of the perfect cliffhanger. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next episode. I've got to wind that back. Wow. I somewhat... Yeah. I don't know what to say. I can't believe we just had that. What a great episode, honestly. And just so many things happened in there, which you could have gone down a generic path. Yet, the sort of theme was that, you know, where sort of the timer goes up and then they go. But so many cool things happen to make it completely different. Like Sabine, she goes off with them. Like, that's brilliant. Ahsoka, like, she gets knocked off, and you know, it's Hera coming along with the ghosts and the X-Wing pilots and the X-Wings, and yeah, there's just so many cool things in that episode. So to end it as well, an already great established episode, and that moment where she was off the cliff, and that's when I thought about Anakin. I thought, my goodness, I just got an image of like Return of the Jedi, Anakin standing in there in his Jedi robes, and I was thinking, wait a minute, he could be a Force ghost right now, and what better time to be one than right there, but to go beyond that. So it is the Veil of the Force, I'm pretty sure that's the name, but Ahsoka goes in there, and you know how like she went in there before because she was grabbed out of it, or Ezra was, one of them was grabbed into it and saved from Darth Vader. So did she fall into it or something? Or did Anakin pull her into there to save her and to send her down a new path, or to help her go to this other galaxy or something? Like, man, it's so nicely done. I really am happy with that. Honestly, I'm going to have to just put that there as well. But yeah, it was just to have Hayden there. I thought if he turned up, I always thought, because Luke Skywalker was so unexpected, it was an emotional moment, and that's when the tears got me, and I'd never had anything like that before. It was like all my childhood just came to hit me. It was such a special moment, and that feeling of like, it was just so nice to know what Luke Skywalker represents within Star Wars. So I thought if it was Anakin, because we saw him in Anakin and Obi-Wan, if he showed up this time, I thought it would be more along the lines of like cheering, like, oh, yes, like, wow. But it wasn't. It hit me again in a very different way. I think maybe because of seeing him at Celebration, which was just so awesome and surreal, and seeing what a nice person he was as well. And I will never forget that direct eye contact that he does to everyone. Like, literally, when I walked in there, and he's just full attention. But I don't know if that's because in my head I'm thinking, my God, that's Anakin Skywalker right there. And it's like my hero since, you know, my teens, which was pretty awesome. But there's something, there's just to see him as Anakin Skywalker into the role that we love him for so much, and so many of us have for so long. It's special again, and I think Kenobi, it sort of, even though it had its sort of own Star Wars show, I don't know how to explain it. It didn't hit the mark for me, and therefore everything that turned up, it was just done in a strange way. Whereas this, you could see the comparison within storytelling. This is going on, it's making sense, it's building up tension, it's well written, I would say. There are certain things like the pacing, but that's just the TV show movie difference in there, where TV shows are stretched out, where I prefer not to have, long moments in there, but it doesn't bother me that much because at the end of the day, it is a TV show. If that was a movie, I'd probably be twirling my fingers for a little while. But Ahsoka very much has made its own stamp. Like it's printed it, and it's expanding, it's developing. Kenobi felt hindered and tampered with in a way, and something like Kenobi was George Lucas's child, so to speak. So I feel like George Lucas should have been the one who was handling that, and that would have been a very special thing if he did. And I still think that should have been a movie. Dave Filoni is the one who was handling this, in writing anyway. And I think there's elements of there where care and attention has been placed, so to use right characters at the right moment sparingly and not to be hindered by other stupid characters, and know when to use them and when not to use them, I think that's been done perfectly here. And that's why this moment in time, instead of just having a generic flashback, which is like what we had in Obi-Wan Kenobi, where flashbacks could have been utilised in very pinnacle moments to have the most impactful emotions during that episode, here it's used at the right point in the story, which heightens the emotional feel. So instead of having just a flashback in Ahsoka, which he could have easily done, they've gone beyond that, they've thought about it. I never thought Anakin would be in the Veil of the Force, or that would be a way for them to meet. And to have that sort of, kind of like they're both alive, that in that time period is just incredible. Now, the thing is that his attire is, he has his classic Jedi robes in Return of the Jedi as a Force Ghost, but in the Veil of the Force he has his Revenge of the Sith attire. Now, you could probably watch out for all the shorts, which are probably going to be bombarding your screens very soon. Oh, did you notice this and did you notice that? It's like, yes, we did all notice that. We noticed it immediately. But it does beg the question of, is this, or could this be a younger Anakin Skywalker, and maybe he always had some connection in the time period of Revenge of the Sith or before that we didn't know about, that he has, I don't know, something to do with that, but I don't think it's that. I think it's obviously after everything that's happened and they just stylistically decided to go for that attire, even though I would have loved so much to have Anakin in the sort of Jedi robes. That would have been quite special. Just a little nod to Sebastian Shaw there as well in his attire. That would have just been a slight cool thing to see there. But to have that moment with Ahsoka and you see how she transforms when she sees Anakin and Anakin looking at Ahsoka, yeah, I'll be watching that quite a lot or for a lot longer now, to see Hayden in these things and to know that like how important episode 3 and episode 2 was for all of us. I mean, to have it back and to sort of relive it, but as you're older and with new experiences under your belt and development and growth, it hits you in such a different way, which is what I love. This is one thing which I applaud having these TV shows and things, because you have the opportunity to do this. We have the opportunity as well to chat and talk about it sort of as we're watching it, as we go, which of course you wouldn't really get to do at the cinema. That would then just be a specific review and breakdown, whereas this is sort of a reaction breakdown essay thing which encompasses all those things, so we get to have those experiences together, like watching Hayden and that, just seeing him involved in Star Wars again makes me very happy. And I mean, if you go into Star Wars politics a little bit, it all seems quite quiet and elusive in the Lucasfilm stage, shall we say, but whatever's going on with Dave Filoni seems to be doing a very good job, and it makes me very happy. Even like the moments with the X-Wings and flying with I know it's the Republic fleet, but it is the Rebel fleet, and getting the same shots and in the hangar as well. It's just, I love it so much. It's just, it fits, it works, it's not put in there it doesn't seem like it's put in there for fan service. it's to fit the story, which is what I really like. And to see Jason and Hera in there as well, then with the X-Wings and Phoenix Squadron. I think it was Phoenix Squadron then. Yeah, that's amazing and special, and something I really like. One thing which I did just think about now is if you got the Veil of the Force and whether Kanan and Jarrus can be saved somehow. Does it unlock any other doors? I don't know. I mean, how nice would that be for Hera and her son as well? That would be pretty special to get all of the team back. My only thing is though, is like, where the hell is Zeb? Like, I don't think he would have left Hera, to be honest. Maybe he's do his own thing, but I think there would be a constant relationship there. I think probably because it would cost one heck of a lot of money to have him in there, and literally in all the scenes. But I think it would have been very worth it to bring that sort of humour to Hera, because I think Hera in Rebels comes across as really nurturing and loving, whereas here she comes up. I think there's a little bit of, I hate the word, but sass. Like sassiness and sarcasm mixed in.
But you can't leave without authorization.
Watch me.
Whereas I think it's just a slight misinterpretation of like her sort of attitude was always nurturing and loving, and a bit of a witty charm to her in Rebels, whereas here it's all just carried over, but I think just might be misinterpreted a little bit. But she's still, I really like her in this, and to see Jason in there as well is pretty awesome. Overall, this was an amazing episode, honestly, and that's like the perfect cliffhanger for next week as well. And I can't wait to see it, because that's really, if you think we've gone through and seen some amazing things in this episode, I think next week that's when we know what's going to happen, how they sort of go beyond. This is like pivotal for Star Wars, I think. Like the fact that she's standing there with Anakin, a lot of doors can be opened, and how they go from there will be very interesting. I have my own personal hopes, and I'm sure you do as well. If you have any, just let me know down below. But even with the hyperspace ring as well, that scene was awesome. I mean, to see the sort of trail that's left behind, this massive pulse of energy. This is the thing, it's so fantastically amazing how it didn't work in that film that we love so much, like with the hyperspace ram thing, and there was something off with it. But here, to see it sort of that massive energy and then the trail that's left behind as it jumps into this ultimate hyperspace, I love it so much. It works. It's great storytelling, and the visuals is something that you think George Lucas would sit there and think up himself. So yeah, we knew Thrawn had to come back, the ring had to go, but I think that was the trick, to think that the classic, the fighters are coming here to stop the ring, and it's going to stop last minute, and the time thing is going to be stopped last minute, and all of that was flipped over. That's the kind of subversion which you want. Subvert your expectations by actually making it happen and work, and don't disappoint. It feels like it's not the generic story. Like the story is happening for the sake of the story, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was awesome. Brilliant episode. I'll be watching this many times, and great to see Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker with Ahsoka. Perfection. Let me know all your thoughts down below. I can't wait to read them all, and what you think is going to happen now in the next episode, especially. There's a lot of amazing things happening. Just let all your comments unleash all your thoughts down below. But until next week, I hope you like this video. Subscribe if you're not. Take care of yourself, and remember, the Force will be with you always.